What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and since we know that very soon we're going to be getting more SS characters coming to the game, which is in another 4 days, more than likely going to be Kay and Kula. I don't see who else it could be. I thought it'd be a good idea to put the Doa6 collaboration characters in the tier list and see where they stack up against all of the current meta. Now, before we get into this video, a couple things. The first thing is, this is just my personal opinion of where these girls stack up against the current meta and the game. It's also on a list, you know, when you're thinking about having all of the characters available. You have all the SS, you have all the BS. Where do these girls stack up on that tier list? Now, for some of you out there, the girls might be ranked higher or lower, maybe depending on your tier list, how you value characters, you know, where you feel they're applicable, and so on and so on. Maybe you're going to use these girls more often in guild raid. Maybe their stocks go up because of that. But I'm just looking at it as a whole. I'm just looking at these tier lists as a whole compared to all the previous characters in the game and how strong they are in certain game modes. And the other thing I want to remind you guys of is that make sure that you do collect your Doa6 battle card selector, your soul mystery boxes, your imprint stone selection boxes, and your hammers before this timer runs out. Otherwise, you're going to lose these things forever, and you definitely don't want to do that. So make sure that you do that. Now, let's go over this tier list that I got set up for you guys. Okay, so this is the tier list, and for those of you that are new to the channel, it's pretty obvious how I got this set up. You know, triple S is the highest tier, double S is the second tier, S is the third tier, and so on and so on and so on. Don't mind these pictures right here. And you guys, we'll start with the red here. So we got two new red characters in Tingle and Honaka, and you can see where they're ranking. Now, I haven't put the color in there, but I'm pretty sure you already know where Tingle ranks. Tingle is just too good. The fact that she gets that damn shield at 100% HP, and that can go all the way, you know, that'll last until she goes all the way down to 50% HP. It gives her an insane amount of survivability. Not to mention that all of the SS versions of these characters have 30% PG gain, and her leadership is just insane. That applies to all the girls in the game, no matter what type they are, no matter what color they are. It doesn't matter. It applies to all the ladies. It's an insane leadership, and with her insane survivability, the girl is just nuts. Not to mention her damage increases, her increase based off defenses, the core passive that all the Doa6 collaboration characters with a decreased damage received by 35%, and then of course the increased attack that it has. It's just, for one, it's just a powerful core effect that all these girls have. And Tingle combined with that shield and all of her buffs, she's just insane, right? She's just so freaking strong that it's not even funny. And I gotta put her in triple S. She's got to be in triple S, and I believe that she is the best red character in the game. I know a lot of you are going to argue, you're going to think maybe SS Mai, and SS Mai is godly, but Tingle's leadership just puts her over the top, in my opinion, because even at 1 star, the girl can last. She can last against the strongest immortal dungeons in the game, no problem. I've actually made videos about it. She's just nuts, not to mention the damage that she can put out. And then we have Honaka. Now, Honaka is not an SS. This is a Paradise version, a Doa6 collaboration, legit character that you can actually level up just by combining Fest Memories to get Dimensional Invitation tickets. And Honaka is quite insane. And finally, The Rock. A character has been put above The Rock, finally. This guy's been number 2 for a long time. And ever since the introduction of Doa6 collaboration, I just think he's been put down a few notches. Still think he belongs in SS, and honestly, Honaka here, I'm having trouble really putting her in either triple S. I mean, she definitely deserves to be in double S, but maybe triple S. I mean, this girl has double dot. She has Burn and Starlight. The thing about the Starlight is, whenever we see characters with Starlight, we want them to be available in guild raid, because right now, Starlight isn't a useful dot in the Immortal Dungeons. We have no Immortal Dungeons where Starlight's actually effective. I mean, it does do more damage because you're getting more dot damage, but it doesn't weaken the boss. It doesn't allow you to do more damage like, say, Burn or Bleed or Poison or Chill or any of those kinds of effects, Shock. So it's kind of like, it's very valuable for guild raid, but not really so valuable for the Immortal Dungeons, other than the fact that you can do more damage. But Honaka really is insane. You know, 20% PG raid, the increased target damage received, the attack buffs, and of course her core effects. She really is a nuts character, but I'm having a lot of trouble deciding really to go triple S or S. I actually think, or not S, double S. I actually think that she really probably would be in the double S tier, just because the 3PG is going to get interrupted in guild raid, and really the double S are going to be characters that, even though Tingle is not a character that I probably would use in guild raid, she's so good. She has I would argue that she has the best survivability in the game. I just think she belongs number one. I love Maisie. Maisie's more of a waifu to me than, this version of Tingle, but I gotta give it to Neo. I just think she's number one. And then we go over to SS Marie, and SS Marie's made a pretty big splash. Now, some of you are probably thinking, why is she above BS Orochi? Well, BS Orochi's leadership applies to all boss characters, whereas SS Marie's applies to all characters that are balanced types. So they both got kind of like these kind of niche leaderships, but the thing is, SS Marie's better than BS. She is. For PvE content, she is better. She has starlight damage, she has the increased target damage received, she has the core effect, she has way better survivability than BS Orochi. BS Orochi has no decreased damage received other than the stones that you'd put on him, whereas she actually has it in her core, right? She is just nuts. When you take a look at this character, let me scroll over here and go to our... Actually, let's just go to the codex. That'd be a lot better. When you take a look at this girl, let me pull this off here. When you take a look at this girl, she's got the decreased damage received by 75% when attacked at HP is 50%. She has a chance to stun. She's got the combo count higher. She's just, she's got reset skills. I just think that all in all, she's just a better character than BS Orochi. I really do. I think BS Orochi, honestly, is just kind of falling down a little bit as far as the meta is concerned. But I do think he's better than this version of Cosmi. Paradise Cosmi is a very, very good character. And she has an insane amount of survivability. Really, you could argue she might be actually just as good as BS Orochi, at least as far as PvE content, because she does have a nice little leadership, but man, her survivability is nuts. That's the thing about all these characters. That's what makes it hard. And her damage is very, very respectful. She got the decreased damage received by 85% for 4 seconds when attacked. She gains immunity for 3 seconds upon active grab skills for 10 seconds. This character's got an insane amount of survivability on top of the core passive with a 30% decreased damage received. And then all these attack buffs that this character has, and the super armor, the deals venom damage. She really is solid. I almost want to put her above BS Orochi. And matter of fact, the only reason I don't is BS Orochi, both these characters are really going to be great for the Immortal Dungeons. And that's where you're going to use both of them. But BS Orochi, you can actually get a 3PG for him from the Epic Quest. That's always available in the game. And that kind of boosts up his stocks a little bit. And he buffs up some of the strongest, he buffs up some of the strongest characters in the game. It's for the boss fighters, right? He increased PG rate for boss fighters. No matter what color they are. We're talking about characters like Chrysalid, Zero, Geese, Rugal, all the BS versions of them. And to me, that just kind of puts them above her. But I do think that SS Marie here definitely belongs in triple S tier. Absolutely. And I do think that Paradise Cosmi here belongs in double S tier. And then we get over to a really difficult one, and that was Honaka. Now, Honaka was a character that we got free from the game, just like SS Marie. Pretty awesome that SS Marie actually ended up in triple S tier, being a free character. But Honaka, it's the same thing, right? She's going to be triple S tier. She has to be. There's been comparisons done with Honaka against this guy right here, Kyo. And Kyo is the highest damage dealing character in the game. But the thing about Kyo is, if you have Iori, any version of Iori except for Unshackled Iori or Orochi Iori, on the team with Kyo, Kyo gains a nice amount of attack from his core. But whenever Iori isn't on the team, Honaka actually keeps up with him and actually can do more damage than him, which is just insane for a defensive character. That is bonkers, my friends, that she can do that. And I know a lot of people are going to look at this and they're going to be like, man, why is she above Chrysalid? What the hell? Why is she above Chrysalid? Because I actually think that she can do more damage than Chrysalid, more than likely. But the reason I put her above him is one, her 3PG doesn't get interrupted. Chrysalid's does. If you're using her in Guild Raid, hers won't get interrupted. She can actually stall the timer. The thing about this is Chrysalid actually has, right? He actually has darkness and starlight. Whereas this version of Honaka just has burn, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check real quick here. Pretty sure she just has burn damage. Yeah, she's just got an insane amount of burn damage in her kit, which is amazing for hard mode and Guild Raid, but she doesn't have starlight. And that's kind of the thing, you know, like honestly, I could switch these two around. I could easily put Chrysalid on top. I mean, I really think they're about tied. I really think it really just depends on where you value these characters. I mean, Chrysalid has got more usefulness in the higher levels of Guild Raid because he does have starlight and darkness, right? And he does have a great leadership for boss fighters for Guild Raid. That 60% increase to boss fighters. But Honaka's damage is nuts. She's a crazy character for hard mode. Like for beginner players, newer players, she's actually going to be better because she actually has burn. And she's just nuts. Crazy power. So really, this here could go either way. You could easily put Crystal on top. You could easily put Honaka on top. Personally, guys, I might put a little asterisk here for both of these characters and consider it a tie. I just think it really depends on where you value them as far as which one's actually better than the other. And then we get into Tingle. Now, Tingle is a Doa6 legit collaboration character, Paradise version, right? She's not SS version. And she is a solid character. She got 20% PG rate. She has darkness. She's a very, very solid character. But the thing about the non-SS versions is that the 3PGs can get interrupted. However, every one of these versions, the Paradise versions anyways, you're more than likely going to be just playing them in Immortal Dungeons. So you don't really have to worry about the 3PGs getting interrupted, but it does lower their stocks a little bit. All three of these characters right here, Zero, Athena, and Iori, none of their 3PGs can get interrupted. Iori has an insane immune effect. Athena has Starlight. She has decreased damage received. She has the healing on her 3PG. Zero, I mean, guys, do I need to say anything about Zero? He's just nuts, right? And I just think Tingle, I mean, honestly, compared to these other characters, it's pretty much a feat that Tingle would be above them. I do think that you could use her in Guild Raid with the darkness. You absolutely could, but she really is going to be need to be leveled up so you can break that meter super, super fast. But I do think that the character belongs in double S tier. I don't think she's a triple S tier character. I'm just not feeling it, my friends. And then we get over the blue, which was extremely hard. Blue was very difficult. I actually had a hell of a time trying to figure this out because here we got SS Cosmi, and then we also have the Paradise version of Marie. And we'll start with Marie here. So Paradise Marie is a really good character, right? I mean, she's got 20% PG rate. She's got the chill damage. I believe she's got chill damage explosion. Yeah, on her third skill, she got chill damage explosion. And she is a solid, solid character. And in the Immortal Dungeons, she's going to be a freaking god. But I don't think she really belongs in triple S tier because the 3PG can get interrupted. She's just not going to be the perfect character for Guild Raid. But for Immortal Dungeons, she's absolutely insane. Crazy survivability. Way better survivability than these characters down here. And her damage is actually quite amazing. Now, this is really tough. You know, we got Merlin and we got Cosmi. And this is kind of a pain here. So because they're both amazing characters. You know, I did have Merlin at triple S tier, but honestly, I think because of the introduction of Cosmi, I honestly think that Merlin belongs a notch below. I think she actually belongs in SS tier, but man, it's tough because Merlin's really good, man. She got decreased damage received. She can reset her hyper armor skill. Both her default and 3PG are very long skills. She builds up her PG super fast. I mean, she's an amazing character. She's got a great leadership. Only for the 7 Knights characters. That's kind of the caveat to her. But she also has multiple dot damages. She's very versatile. I mean, it's kind of like I still feel like she should be in triple S tier. And I do think that Cosmi belongs in triple S tier. Cosmi, I think, is so underrated by a lot of players. The character is absolutely amazing. She is very strong. She's got the same core effect as the other characters, and she becomes immune to darkness, right? Which can really help you in Guild Raid. She doesn't really tear the meter up that fast, considering that she has the highest attack stats in the game. And the extra dot that they gave her, it helped, but it's still really not good enough. But the thing is, the character is insanely strong. Like I said earlier, she's got the highest attack stats in the game. Her damage is freaking nuts. Very, very powerful. And she does have the decreased damage received. Her survivability, though, really isn't as good as other characters. And I really got to wonder, like, should I put Merlin above Cosmi? Because really, Merlin's survivability, I would argue, is better. She's a balanced type fighter. She's gonna have higher HP, higher native stats, except for her attack stats, obviously, because Cosmi's the #1 in the game as far as attack stats are concerned. But since a lot of people more than likely are not going to use Cosmi in Guild Raid, I mean, really, a lot of people, I mean, they do use Merlin, but, you know, some people probably don't at this point in the game because they're, you know, getting SS and BS characters. I kind of think that Merlin might belong above Cosmi. I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest. This is very tough. I do think that they both belong in SS tier, but let me know how y'all feel in the comments. I'm really having a hard time deciding on what to do with these two characters. I don't know if I want to put Merlin above Cosmi or keep Cosmi above her. And I'm not really sure if I want to keep Cosmi in SS tier or triple S tier. I do think that she is well deserving of it. I do think she's an insanely powerful character. But the fact that a lot of people more than likely won't use her in Guild Raid. I mean, all these characters that you're seeing here, Guild Raid, Guild Raid, Guild Raid, all three of them, Guild Raid, right? You can use all of them. Guild Raid, right? All these characters, right? And Merlin too, by the way. Even though her 3PG can be interrupted, you can still use her. She's quite good, especially against Rugal. She's really nuts. But I almost feel like we're getting to a point in the game where I need to take one of these blue characters and make them double S tier. And I'm honestly thinking it should be Merlin. But that is the tier list. Let me know in the comments how you're all feeling about it. Let me know what you disagree with and why you disagree with it. And, you know, it's always subject to change. I'm always open to changing things on the tier list for whatever reasons. Put it down in the comments down below if you do disagree with my comments. And remember, this is just my personal opinion. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.